Hey, what's good, y'all? This your girl, Hey, we're on Death Row. On Facebook, I'm Tay Smith. On TikTok, I'm Tay Smith 65. On Instagram, I'm Tay Smith 666. And really, I have two different YouTube channels. This specific channel that I'm creating this one on will be like my personal one that I personally see to. My other one is strictly for my music. So every time I upload music and it goes to all the streaming platforms, it will go to that YouTube channel. And you can also get my music on all streaming platforms. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, whatever the case may be. Wherever you get your music, wherever you stream, you search Hey Rue on Death Row, I'm going to pop up. You Google Hey Rue on Death Row, I will pop up. But, and you will be able to access me. What I really wanted to talk about today and begin talking about is when I went plant-based, why I went plant-based, and eventually became a fruitarian, meaning I eat mostly fruit, very little vegetables. I eat seeds, nuts. I take herbs, which I will get into what I'm specifically taking right now, and I'll also give you the link to the Amazon search engines that they are on if you're looking specifically for these types of herbs for your situation. But starting this year, July 27th, I went to go see a pain management doctor because since 2016, November 2016, when I was 23, I have been walking with a cane. Majority of that time, I've been walking with a cane. And I've seen every type of doctor you could think of for it. I've had probably every test you could think of. And the only thing they have found is arthritis. And that's only been made, I want to say this year, possibly last year, that they just found arthritis after all the imaging tests that I've taken. So, and, people would say all the time, oh, well, at least that's not a death sentence. It's not, but it's a very painful way to live. And so when I went to go see the pain management doctor July 27th, I had hit like a ceiling. And my body was progressively getting weaker. My body was progressively breaking down. If I didn't change that right then and there, I was headed for immobility, meaning I wouldn't have been able to get up, move, walk around, do anything for myself. I wouldn't be able to go and bathe myself. I wouldn't be able to do anything. I was headed down that road pretty rapidly. And so I went to go see the pain management doctor looking for answers. And at Bergen Mercy, in Omaha, Nebraska. Went there. I literally sat and waited for the doctor for an hour to an hour and a half. And he never came to see me. I never seen anybody. The nurse came to get me out of the waiting room. We weighed out. I got weighed. I was 271 pounds. I wasn't able to lose weight. I wasn't able to move around or do anything. And she literally did that, went back, took my blood pressure, whatever. I then sat in that room for an hour to an hour and a half, and he never came. So I got up and I left. And I decided that from that day, I needed to make a drastic change in my health journey if I wanted to continue to, or not even continue, because at that moment I was not enjoying life. And if I wanted a better life for myself, I needed to take my health into my own hands. As a type 1 diabetic, it was definitely risky and kind of nerve-wracking to start just going on a fast and then jumping into a fruit diet. But through all the research I've done, I found that this is actually the safest way for me to be living. Everything that they promote for a diabetic, whether type 2, type 1, or pre-gestational, is horrible. We shouldn't be eating wheat. We shouldn't be eating white bread, none of that. But all that's suggested. Meat is suggested. And it's crazy because as a so-called melanated being or carbonated being, our bodies are not made to break down meat. I don't care who you are. Your body doesn't break it down. It's going to harm you. You're not going to get any nutritional value from it. And that's true. I've looked this up. Several different sources. You can do it yourself as well. But what really got me started on doing the what they call a fruit fast, which is not technically a fast because you're eating. But I was watching a video with Bobby Smith, shout out Bobby Smith, and he was doing an interview with Yaki Awaken, shout out Yaki Awaken. They were doing an interview about watermelon and how Bobby Smith has been doing, at the time he had did so many days or months on just watermelon, and I thought that was amazing. And the way that Yaki Awaken broke it down, what the watermelon is actually doing for your body, made a lot of sense to me. And it made sense that I would do a fruit so-called fast or diet. And so from August 1st, I said, okay, from August 1st through the rest of the summer season, about a good solid 2 weeks, I'm going to just do nothing but watermelon. I'm going to see what it does for me. In 2 weeks, I lost 15 to 20 pounds. After transitioning from watermelon to other fruits, I did notice that it is a hell of a lot harder to stay hydrated. But I couldn't go back at that point because I felt so much better than I ever have eating meat, than I ever had eating processed sugar, than I ever had eating any of that other shit. And anybody who's a diabetic or that knows anything about a diabetic, they recommend you stay away from fruit. And that's real shit. For years, I probably didn't incorporate fruit in my diet for that reason. For that reason. But when I started to shift my mind frame and to start thinking about things different and really doing research to see what the fuck I can actually do, fruit is the answer. Fruit is the answer. And there's so many things out there that are fruit that we have no idea is even a fruit. Yaki Awaken put me on to this mind shift. Like cucumbers are fruit and they're 97% water. That's fucking amazing. They're related to watermelon. This is why watermelon has a high content of water as well. I think they're 96, 94, or 92% water. Fucking amazing. So, went down this path. And to date, as of December 26th, I weighed 202 pounds. Meaning, since July 27th, I have lost a total of 69 pounds. And so, throughout my journey, for the most part, I've been a fruitarian. Like I said, I have dibbled and dabbled in the cheese. I have dibbled and dabbled in, cheese. I tried wheat to see how it affects me. Even though I've done the research, I wanted to experience it. And I found that those are definitely not good for your body. At least for me, melanated, carbonated beings, it's not good for us. Wheat is horrible for blood sugar, especially mine, because I can eat something that's made of wheat, take the proper amount of, put the proper amount of carbohydrates into my insulin pump, take it, sugar will level out, it'll be fine. But an hour to 2 hours after that, my shit skyrockets again. It's horrible for diabetics. From carbonated beings, period. It's horrible. Wheat is not something to consume for anybody. As far as cheese, definitely mucus forming. Definitely not something I recommend. There's plenty of ways to make cheese with nuts, without nuts. I suggest you do it without all the chemically processed shit. I recently just made some pizza with plant-based cheese, but it's not from strictly fruit, so, it's not the best. And it doesn't melt properly either, so I'm not going to say the brand it is or whatever the case may be, but if you have a suggestion to put me on, please do so. And by the way, it is Happy Kwanzaa. It's the first day of Kwanzaa. So Habari Gani. Today is Umoja, unity. So even though I have no unity in my life with anybody, family either, it's just whatever. I'm definitely in the Kwanzaa spirit. I've been eating hella fruit. My whole fridge is full of fruit. Some mushrooms. Definitely fuck with the mushrooms. Definitely fuck with nuts. Just recently though, it's not like my whole life I've been eating nuts. But cashews, walnuts, I've been dabbling with. To replace wheat, I've been using chickpeas and cassava, which are amazing. Not even alternatives, but because of the world we live in, it's an alternative. Amazing alternatives, because at least chickpeas are a fruit. So, just fucking wonderful. It doesn't affect my blood sugar bad at all. Like, it doesn't spike it. I do definitely still have to take insulin with it while I'm cleansing my body. But it doesn't harm my body it doesn't harm my body at all, number one. But it's way better than wheat. It's a way better alternative. When I eat wheat, my mouth gets extremely dry. My hair, everything gets extremely dry. And I'm about to take a sip of water now. I don't recommend water. This is spring water. I still don't recommend it because doing the research that I've done, tipped off by Yaki Awaken, water is not made to hydrate the body. We really use it just to bathe. And as you go more and more down this rabbit hole, you'll find out that the more fruit you eat, the less you'll have to bathe. And that's something that I couldn't even conceptualize until I got on this journey. It's crazy. Like, not even to get too much into it, because that's going to go over so many people's heads, and that's probably going to At this point, it's probably going to make you click out of the video, because people don't realize when you eat dead animal flesh, you're going to stink from the inside out. And I did detox from aluminum deodorant. I've detoxed from everything. I'm not saying I don't bathe, but there are people out there that definitely don't need to bathe. They haven't bathed, like Kev Raymond. He said it's been over a year, at least the last video I seen of him. It's been over a year since he's bathed. But I know this to be true. Why? Because I've experimented. And I've gone for about 2 days, about 2, maybe 3 days, when I'm just at home by myself, just trying to, whatever. And I realize I don't stink when I'm eating properly. But that also goes with the whole vegan thing. A lot of people like to say, you're vegan or this, that, and the third, or vegetarian. First of all, the difference between being vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, and a fruitarian are completely different. A vegetarian doesn't eat meat. That's it. They still eat cheese and all that other shit. Still comes from animals. A vegan doesn't eat anything that comes from an animal, meaning honey, meat, cheese, anything that comes from an animal, they don't eat. But they eat a lot of processed shit. Not cool. Interjection. Spring water is said to be the best because of all the natural minerals and shit that it gets. But moving on. Plant-based means you only eat things that come from plants. So even if it is processed, if it comes from a plant, that's plant-based. A fruitarian, meaning they eat a high fruit diet. Not saying that you can't eat vegetables, but fruitarian is where I'm at now. It's meaning I eat a hell of a lot of fruit. Most of my salad, when I make a salad, is fruit. Tomatoes. Well, I use mushrooms sometimes. I use, the leafy green shit, lettuce and shit. Different shit. Now, those are vegetables and shit, but I eat cucumber, tomatoes, sun-dried tomatoes. I'm looking for a salad dressing that is completely soy-free. Every one that I look at that says plant-based is soy. And for lack of a better word, when people say plant-based, that comes with a hell of a lot of restrictions sometimes. Because you can be plant-based and still consume soy. Why? Because it's plant-based. Wheat, plant-based. It's genetically modified plant-based, but it is plant-based. When you start to look at your vegetables, like broccoli and kale and shit, it is technically plant-based, but it's not natural. Not saying that broccoli isn't good for you. Melanated carbonated beans took a mustard seed, and I found this information through Yaki Awaken and then looked it up myself. Comes from a mustard seed. A hell of a lot of vegetables come from a mustard seed. They cultivated it, mixed it with different things, and they made broccoli. Broccoli assimilates very well with our body. You don't believe me? You can look it up. So a lot of people throw shade on broccoli and throw shade on kale because it's not completely natural. It's true. It's not completely natural, but it assimilates with your body well. You know what I mean? And that's the point. So You just got to be looking at the right shit. But basically, I eat mostly fruit. So yes, apples. Yes, the standard shit that we know about. Pears, oranges, tomatoes, the standard shit that we know about. I eat a hell of a lot of that. But that's where people get stuck. It's so much fruit in the world that we don't even know that's a fruit. You know what I mean? Get into coconuts. I just started getting into coconuts. Don't like coconut water, but it's the best water for you. If you're going to drink any water, it should be coconut water. There's so many things you can do with a coconut, by the way. I brush my teeth with coconut oil. I do oil pulling with coconut oil, where you take you don't have to be a full spoonful, but like a spoonful or so. Put it in your mouth, move it around, swish it around like mouthwash. It's a hell of a lot thicker. So I do mine for about 10 minutes. Some people do it for 30 minutes or longer, but I do mine for about 10 minutes and then I spit it in the trash, not the sink, because it'll clog up your sink because it's thick. But that not only cleanses your mouth and your teeth, but that cleanses your body, because all the juices from that shit are getting into the glands, the saliva glands. And even though you don't swallow it, the way you absorb things in your mouth, especially if you make a juice fresh, like I do a lot of that. I make my own juice. You get all that nutrients because it soaks up in your mouth. You get all that nutrients and it disperses throughout your body. And there's a lot in it. The more you research and the more you study, the better it gets. You don't get locked into one thing. Like I've been drinking I only drink apple juice, orange juice, pear juice. The same, you get into the same thing. Not the case. I'm not gonna lie. Leaving meat alone for me has been extremely difficult. But two things that have definitely helped me. And again, I got all this information introduced to me through Yaki Awaken. But I also did the research myself. He never gives you information and just say, believe what he say. And I'm not the motherfucker to do that anyway. I'm going to research everything. And then once I figure out, okay, this seems to be the right way, I'm going to experience it myself to see if it works for me. And that's what I'm going to present you here today. I can't even tell you what day it's on. Let me see. So since August, and I'm going to get to the herbs in a minute that I'm currently using, and then I'll put those in the description below. But I've also used to cleanse my pancreas and to help with mental health and anxiety. I use ashwagandha and fenugreek. I'll make a separate video about that, letting you know how it's helped me. But let me look real quick. So let me see what day I'm on. So it's 31 days in August, 30 days in September, 31 days in October, 30 days in November, and this is the 26th day. Plus 26 of December. I'm on my 148th day of this journey, which is amazing. Doing this has changed my life so much. It's insane, and a lot of people are scared to become plant-based or a fruitarian. A lot of people go the vegan route, but they don't see results because you're still eating a lot of processed bullshit, you know what I mean? But one thing to help with the cravings, for sure, and this has all been given to me by Yaki Awaken, and through my research. Get this on Amazon. It's wormwood, black walnuts, and whole cloves in combination with the herb Pau D'Arco. I'm going to put the description to the link to where you can get both of these from Amazon. And what they do, they cleanse out the parasites in your body. This wormwood gets rid of the parasite eggs. You take these once a day for 3 months. Then you need to take a break. And if you feel like you need to start it again, then you start it again. You start your 3 months again. With this one, I call this one your active. Like, as a type 1 diabetic, I always go to the insulin. You have your long-acting insulin. This acts as your long-acting, because you take it once a day. This, you can take up to 3 times a day or more. It just depends. When you start off, though, it says that you should start by taking 2 capsules twice a day with meals for intensive use, up to 4 capsules 3 times a day. So, my bad, just a second. My insulin pump just dinged at me because it say my pie is supposed to expire at 9:30, and that's cool. So, I'm gonna just put, I don't understand what's going on right now. This is kind of the thing I've been working on, because I've noticed, like, when I wake up in the morning, everybody body does this, and I'm glad that my pancreas at least works in this way, but it's so hard to get the ratios right for shit. The glucagon dumps a hell of a lot of sugar into the bloodstream, and so my shit rises without me even eating anything. Like, I haven't eaten anything today, but my blood sugar is still over 200, even though I've been taking insulin. But anyway, regardless of that, this is like your short acting. I began very slow with this. I took 2 capsules about 3 times a day, and then I was like, in the first day, I messed up. I took another 2 capsules, would put me at 8 total for that day. I ain't gonna lie though, I'm glad I did it. This is just what's gonna happen. If you start these herbs, this is a serious thing. Like, it's made to cleanse you. Like, real shit. So, I literally defecated 8 pounds out of my body that entire night. I could not sleep. I defecated 8 pounds out of my body, which took me from 218 to 208. Kind of scared the shit out of me, but I'm not gonna lie, I knew I was doing it for the betterment of health, so didn't scare me too much. But nothing, that I never experienced anything like that in my life, but it was one of the best things I've ever done. And so typically, if you stay on track, if you eat fruit, you condense, obviously you're condensing a hell of a lot of carbs when you do a fruit diet or fast. On average, when I was, doing what I was supposed to do, not dabbling too much into the vegan shit, on average, I lost a pound a day. Real shit. I did. So, if your motivation is weight loss, the best way to do that is to do fruit. Yaki Awaken recommends any type of cleanse to do a fruit fast. or a juice fast, excuse me, where you drink nothing but juice. He cured all his diseases on fruit juices. I, per se, because of my condition and everything that I'm going through, I'm not able to work, so I don't have any income. So it took me a while to get money to get these herbs. When I began, though, the first two herbs I was taking, like I said before, were fenugreek and ashwagandha. Ashwagandha. Praise that herb. Woo. That herb right there is so powerful. And I stopped taking it for a period of time just because you can only take it for about 3 months, 2, before you have to take a break and stop it. I don't think I took it for a complete 3 months, but I took it for quite a bit. And then I just decided when I ran out of 2 bottles of that, I still got 1 pill left. But since I ran out of the fenugreek and I were taking those together, I decided to just stop those for a minute and start these herbs to get my cleanse and then get back on those herbs. Fenugreek is amazing for diabetes. So is ashwagandha. Fenugreek works. Fenugreek is called the insulin plant. And this is the research I've done myself. Yaki Awaken put me on, though. But fenugreek, it works as something over time. Like your fasting blood sugar will, after taking it for so long, you'll realize that it's not as high. It's more stable when you wake up. Ashwagandha works more rapidly. I've noticed when I take ashwagandha, it helps levels out my blood sugar, especially when that glucagon dumps all that sugar into my bloodstream. It doesn't combat it completely because I'm a type 1 diabetic, but as a type 2 diabetic, if that's what you are, it might help you completely. But I noticed that it kept it in check. It kept it in check. On top of taking a dosage of insulin to keep it regulated, ashwagandha definitely helps. It's more of your fast-acting insulin. Fenugreek is more of that long-acting. But these are things I wanted to share with you. I am going to upload this video tomorrow. I'm going to try to be as consistent as possible. I don't know if I'm going to do a video a day, but I may get on here and just talk about some shit. I might have a spiritual message that I feel like I want to share with you. And plus it's Kwanzaa. I want to definitely try to do one every day for Kwanzaa. Somebody invited me out to go see The Color Purple today. So I'm going to go do that. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to dibble and dabble. I haven't had popcorn in a while. I don't eat corn, even though it's considered a fruit, even though most people see it as a vegetable. It is a fruit, but it's not good for the body. But I'm going to eat it because, I mean, hey, I'm going to the movies. I want to, whatever. And, it is what it is. It's nothing wrong with it. I'm not going to eat a hell of a lot of it. I can't anyway, because I've condensed my stomach so much. All my clothes are hella big. I only got one outfit now that fits. So, I'm going to go get ready. They supposed to be here about 6. It's not a date or nothing. It's one of my friends. And I'm going to go chill and do that. I might come back, do a review on The Color Purple. Who knows? But I just wanted to shout out Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. It's the first day. Second day, tomorrow is Kuji Shakalia, which is self-determination. Stay determined to work on yourself, to better yourself. Peace.